Joy Markham, and I'm here with Tracey Flintoff and Cami Bruckdo, my partners in LifeWave. And we are going to bring you an introduction to what the patches can do for you. And if we could get the PowerPoint, that'd be great. Thank you so much. So the patches work through a technology called phototherapy or photobiomodulation, and they reflect back a certain wavelength of light from the lattice work of organic amino acids, salts, and sugars that reflect a certain frequency into your body that tells your body to do different things. And the patches help increase energy, they help focus, they help with repair. And back in time with some of our inventors that are famous in our world, they actually had a precognition that this was how the future of medicine would be, that we would be using light and frequency to heal, and that we would actually be starting using prevention instead of pills and pharmaceuticals. Next slide, please. So we're not just treating illness, we're helping our body remember how it needs to heal, because our bodies were meant and intended to heal themselves. Next slide, please. So we are not medical providers. We are not here to treat or diagnose any medical conditions. We are going to give you different testimonials that we have, different perspectives that we have, different information, but please contact your doctor or practitioner for any medical things. Next slide, please. So light technology has been used quite a bit actually recently. It's used in infrared saunas. It's used for skin to remodel skin. It's used for pain. It's used in laser for surgery, and a variety of other things now. And so this is actually not something that is out of the realm. It's something that we are starting to recognize, and science is starting to recognize is a fantastic way to reset our body and remodel it and help it to heal. So as we age, our stem cells decline. When we are born, we have active, vital, pluripotent stem cells, and they go around and they are master healers of the body, and they do repair and they help us to grow and everything. By the time we're 30, 50% of those stem cells have gone inactive. And by the time we are 60, 90% have gone inactive. And that is why we age, and that is why we actually have a harder time healing as we age. Next slide, please. So this is a wearable light technology. We're going to primarily talk about the X39, which signals your body to create GHK copper peptide, which then studies show with Dr. Lauren Picard that GHK copper peptide actually regenerates our body's pluripotent stem cells, which are the master repair cells of the body. Next slide, please. So now we're going to listen to a video that explains more about this technology.
Light, an ancient form of energy that goes back to the dawn of time. For us, it all begins with the sun, the source of light and life for our entire solar system. Even Einstein concluded that everything we're made of contains light. All life originates with the sun through photosynthesis. Plants and vegetation collect the light, and all living creatures emit light. Humans actually emit infrared light, which can be seen with night vision devices. We've known for centuries that light has many effects on the body. LifeWave's phototherapy patches use light to stimulate the body's natural healing systems, providing specific health benefits. Here's how the technology works. First, a patch is applied to specific points on the body. Where the patch covers the skin, infrared light emitted from the body is reflected back into the tissue. This stimulates the skin. which in turn stimulates specific regions of the brain. The brain then taps into the body's own natural flow of energy and the ability to heal itself. Let's take a look at why this is important on a cellular level. For example, a number of our patch products help counteract free radicals, oxygen molecules that damage cell proteins and contribute to visible signs of aging. When the body is stimulated through phototherapy to release its own antioxidants, these free radicals are neutralized naturally. LifeWave phototherapy patches promote an environment that enables the body to optimize its restorative powers and provide specific health benefits, all without the use of harmful drugs or chemicals, all helping you to stay healthy and young. To find out more, contact your distributor or visit lifewave.com. LifeWave. Live long, live well.
So for many years, this product was actually garnered towards athletes. And there were quite a few famous athletes that actually utilized these patches. And part of why you haven't heard about them previously is because athletes want to keep their secrets to themselves so that they can actually excel and actually do more than other athletes. So Tom Brady, he actually attributes winning so many different Super Bowls and being able to go so long in the NFL due to these patches. And Michael Phelps wore them when he won all of his gold medals. Mike Tyson wore them. Serena and Venus Williams wear them. The Kansas City Chiefs in the last Super Bowl were wearing them. And so now we actually have them since 2019 when the X39 came out. That's the one that we've been talking about with the GHK copper peptide and the stem cell reactivation. Now we can market it more towards everyday people like us. And so we can experience pain relief and lowered inflammation and more energy and better skin and more mental clarity and faster wound healing and all of these different things without any chemicals or drugs or side effects, and being able to actually just have something like a sticker on our back. So there is a website, www.startx39now.com, that has a plethora of information. It has all kinds of information on there that I highly recommend that you go and research and look on there. There's things about patch placement and the science of patches. There's clinical studies. There's about GHK copper peptide, about the patents, all kinds of things. An age reversal section that tells about how these patches actually are reversing our age. Next slide, please. In a study that they did, they found that for every 6 weeks of use, our cardiovascular age biomarkers reverse age by 8 weeks. So these patches literally are reverse aging as you're wearing them. Next slide, please. So they did a brain mapping study, and this lady was having some cognitive issues. She was a 77-year-old. And as you can see in session 1, her brain has a lot of inflammation that's signified by the red. And then in session 2, there's a lot of blue that's kind of like cold. And so it went from kind of like the pendulum, very inflamed, to a little bit too cold. And then in session 3, you can see that it's actually a perfectly balanced brain. And in between each of these was 2 weeks. So it was a 6-week study. And they found that after 6 weeks, her brain was perfectly balanced and she had more cognition, more function, and was actually able to do quality of life in a much better way. So they also can help our sleep. There's the X39 patch helps with sleep. For me, when I first started wearing it, I was needing 9 or 10 hours of sleep a night, and I'd still wake up and I'd still be tired. And after I started wearing the patches, I would wake up after 7 hours without an alarm, and I'd feel energized and revitalized to actually start going throughout the day. There's some other patches like Alavida and Silent Night that also can help with sleep, and that can be worn at night. And that will help on a broader level with all of the different parts of sleep in our bodies. Next slide, please. I love this slide because it shows this woman as a young person and then how she's aged throughout life and what happens to her body. When you look at the top cell, that is a healthy cell, and you look at the bottom cell, that is a dying cell. And as we age, we have more and more dying cells that our body cannot get rid of, and that are not able to be replaced because we can only replace so many cells at a time. We always constantly have cells dying and rebirthing, but as we age, we have more of that, and our body is not able to actually fully repair and revitalize. And that's why we start having the sagging skin and the gray hair and different things as our pluripotent stem cells go dormant. Next slide, please. This is our dear friend Marcy. She actually was battling 3 different types of um, uh, cells that were not healthy. And she had breast and skin and lymph um, cells that were not healthy. And she was given 10 patches. And the first 2 days after she started wearing the patches, she started feeling the chemo coming out of her mouth, and her body was detoxing. And by day 10, she had been sitting in a recliner waiting to die, and she knew that she had felt the will to live again. And so she is why we are here today. Um, this gentleman here on the left is Dr. Ron Harmon. He is another friend who, as you can see in the first picture, looks like an aging grandpa. And in the second picture, he's kind of turned back into a hot dude. And he had a delayed reaction with the patches where it took like 9+ months for him to actually see any marked changes, but his were a remarkable thing where he had a right branch blockage of his heart remodel, as well as like the age reversal looks and all kinds of things. This is Mandy. You can see where she looks like grandma, and then she looks like the granddaughter at the end. Next slide, please. And this can actually remodel cartilage and help your body heal from degenerative discs and different things. This is 18 months. It is not a fast thing, but as far as I know, it's the only thing out there that can actually give us relief and help with that healing process. So this lady had a curvature of her spine, and the patches helped to, you can see visually how it helped to straighten her spine. Next slide. This, you can look and see how it changed the décolletage after 30 days. This gentleman had a birthmark that was remodeled, cystic acne, varicose veins. Next slide, please. And you can actually do facelifts with this with different patches, and you can see the décolletage here in the bottom, how it changed very quickly. You can see the face, you can see this hair regrowth, and it's just overall amazing. This person on the left had fast growing cells that he had 20 surgeries on and hadn't had relief. And then you can see the pictures of difference in the other people with different skin and autoimmune conditions. Next slide, please. This is also good for our pets. This is Brutus here on the left. He was blind and laying in his bed, not able to do very much. And his owner put her used patches on him for a week around Christmas time. And you can look at his eyes, you can see the milkiness has gone away, and he started being able to see and walk around and follow her. Next slide, please. So now we're going to hear from Danielle. She's going to tell us about her patching experience. Danielle?
Hi. Thank you for having me. So basically, Joy, thanks for introducing me to these patches. I was gonna go on a vacation with my son in 2021 for spring break, and I had the worst headache. My ears were plugged, and it was from long COVID. And Joy put that X39 in the back of my neck, and within about 8 minutes, my ears unpopped. My headache went down to probably like a 3 or a 4, and it was so bad I could hardly walk. So that was really awesome because I was able to go to Six Flags and everything. The biggest thing that has helped me is that I've had a lot of concussions. I used to have a stammer and a lot of other issues with memory and just being able to be my true self. And these patches have allowed me to be myself. Just I feel great. I have energy. I can have great conversations and be more productive with work. And with that, I give them to my staff. So my staff love them. And when they're in the office, like, give me the sticker. And I was like, of course, you're going to be really productive with that. So that's been great. My vision, Tracey mentioned her eyes. She was not wearing glasses after 3 weeks. And I was like, oh, yeah, right. Well, same thing with me. I quit wearing my readers after 3 weeks. And then I noticed that my gray hair was disappearing. Also, with my physical appearance, my 11s, and I used to have like I'm 43. I used to have a lot of marks here for aging with smiles. I smile all the time, and those went away. And then also my necklines as well. So that has been great with my appearance. And then I work out. So I physically train with a trainer 3 to 5 times a week. So I'm able to press myself harder and just be more aggressive. And what's awesome is the next day I don't have the pains and strains. So a lot of the time if you work out, you're like, oh, I could feel it in my legs from leg day. I don't get those. So that's always really exciting. Uh, my dog, Jax, has been my little guinea pig with these little stickers. So many times I went to have to bring him to the hospital and he's fine an hour later, and it's a miracle. I cannot wait for the water machine to come out because now his trachea is collapsing. So I've been putting the stickers on him and I'm not getting the results I want. So I know that he needs to drink the water. So
Mhm.
that's something to think about. I've shared these with people on in my circle, and I've helped a lot of people who would have autoimmune. I don't know what you if you can say that, but my family members have, and so they've had a huge change in their life because of it. So it's been a big game changer, and I noticed that it changes with their attitude. They're just generally like a happier person now, which is awesome. And I was actually at a function a couple months ago for a networking event with the city, and someone said, Danielle, I need to talk to you because her husband and her had a wedding to go to for their daughter, and he had Bell's palsy. And so his whole side of his face was down. And with the patches, I think it was sent 4 days later, you can tell which side had the Bell's palsy. So
That's
um,
awesome.
yeah, it's just there's so many stories like this. So I can go on and on and on. But yeah, thank you for letting me
Danielle,
share.
can you tell us about your dental
Oh,
visit?
my dental. Yes.
Yes.
So, and I have very acidic saliva. And so whenever I go to the dentist every, 6 months, they have to give me a nice drill and fix my cavity. And since I've been using these now since 2021, they were watching one, and I actually have never had a cavity since. And the first time going to my dentist after using the patches, my dentist said, wow, your gums look really good. I've never seen them look so good. So that was really exciting. And yeah, they just feel good. And I'm so glad I'm not spending all that money on dental now and getting all those
Mhm.
painful shots. That's exciting.
Mhm. Yeah, that's awesome.
Huge.
Yeah, it's really neat. I mentioned it to my dentist. I was like, you should prescribe these, but then of course.
Danielle,
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Danielle.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you guys.
do you have a favorite patch, Danielle?
Oh, I don't know. Well, clearly the X39, and then I train. So the X49, and I use the X49 when I travel because of the radiation it blocks. So I love that when I travel. And then the Eon, because I train and I wear it when I sleep, and I just feel really good at night and really refreshed. And I know how it helps with the anti-aging. That one's always important. My husband's favorite is the glutathione. I think we go through the glutathione the most because we're first responders. So we're always wearing them so we don't get any kind of sickness. And the carnosine is huge for my head traumas, but I also put it on my right side next to my eyes. So if I'm doing a lot of work on the computer, I won't, I'll be able to see better and focus, and I remember things better. So I like the carnosine for that. The Alavida is great because I wear it on my third eye at night, and I dream like super good. I dream very vivid dreams. It's like a story, and I go to sleep, and sometimes I don't want to wake up, and then I'm like, oh, the sticker's still here, and then I'm able to wake up. So I just fall into a deeper sleep. So trying to think if there's any other ones. Those are kind of like my staples. I don't really need to do the one for not having the cravings. So I'm pretty good on my health with that.
Good job, Danielle. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing all of that. That's how we learn. This company can't advertise like traditional companies in our country. The FDA has certain regulations and they have to speak very high level. And what they say is kind of boring because they really can't say much. So it takes a testimonial like Danielle's to help us really realize the power of the patch. So I just want to walk you through how you can get your hands on these and our favorites. Now, she mentioned X39. That is the flagship of the line. 80% of the sales are this one patch. So that's a huge clue. This is the one that raises the peptide, GHK copper peptide, and that is what allows the dormant repair cells to come back to life in the body. Luckily, they don't exit the body, they just burn out like light bulbs. We're just putting light back in the body and reactivating them. Game changer. Then we have X49 that you compare with that, and that really was never developed to do what it really is doing in a big way, but it helps boost the metabolism. And during clinical trials, David really created this for electromagnetic field protection. And they started to notice these people that had, kind of maybe fluffy or flabby bodies getting tight and solid, and they were building lean muscle mass. And they were all raving how they could pump more iron, no recovery pain, and it's pretty great things happen. So that was an accidental discovery, but it also has realized, and they started realizing really from a lot of periodontal patients that their pockets were getting smaller as the bone was filling in around. And so then they did a study and realized that this can really support bone density. Of course, we're not making any medical claims here. We're just sharing, findings. But these are very affordable. $149.95 for 30-day supply. We had Jeff on here last week and he was giving us statistics. Getting injections of somebody else's stem cells into your body, it's not pleasant. It's painful, not guaranteed, and it's somebody else's DNA going into your body. So it doesn't always do what it's designed to do. And they're paying $3, $4, $8, $10,000 for one injection, and sometimes it can take three to make them really stick. This is your own body bringing back to life your dormant repair cells. And we love to help you get them at wholesale. None of us are here to do this and make money. We are here to help people get better, live their best lives. We're kind of hooked on this and these stories like Danielle's. It's so fun. So for about the cost of a cup of coffee a day, $99.95 at wholesale. And I'm going to share with you in just a minute how we get them to you at wholesale. But we have some other supportive patches. We want to help the body get in balance. And the first one we always pair with X39 is called Eon. AEON. They called it the happy patch originally because it's calming. It works on the autonomic nervous system. So it takes your body out of fight or flight mode, which is where a lot of us live, sadly, these days. We're all go, 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 and maybe a little over caffeinated, and it just calms down the body. And it also works on inflammation in the body by raising a peptide in the liver. So the liver is responsible to pull out all the bad stuff that we don't want and need. and it's working there. We do have one if you have pain, Ice Wave. That is a pain blocker, and it is all natural, no drug, nothing going into the bloodstream or the body, and no harmful side effects. I just love that it helps the energy flow. And acupressure, all the points where we place these patches is based on Chinese acupuncture. There are a lot of acupuncture doctors that utilize these patches in their practice because they can send them home with their patients and let them continue the repair work. The Alavida, this is my personal favorite because, like Danielle, my dreams are Academy Award winning. I wake up, I have full recall. That means we are getting into deep REM sleep, critically important because that is when the body heals, is when we sleep. But it's also doing things like bringing back your own collagen, your own hyaluronic acid. That's why you saw the changes in skin. But it's not just what you see on the outside, it's the beauty of what it's doing inside. And I always am telling people, don't get hung up on the mirror, okay? Look deep inside and how do you feel? My mom was bone on bone knee, and a combination of these patches in 6 months, she was able to cancel that knee replacement. We brought back that collagen, joint lubrication, ligament, tendon, hormones help balance more melatonin, brain, all sorts of great things. These are very affordable in my opinion, even if you pay retail, $79.95 a month for 30 of them, or $49.95 at wholesale. And we have a variety of patches. Whatever your issues might be, we can work with you and we customize a wholesale pack. And these are what they look like. So our base pack is the core package. So basically, we're just helping you get a lot of product at once rather than charging you a lot more to get them piecemeal to you. So we can customize that pack, and I'm typically getting people 5 different packs based on points. There's an allocation system there. That's great for one singular person. But if we have a family or a couple, $535, and this again is a one-time price. And you can always do upgrades from one level to the next and pay the differential. And basically, you're getting one supportive pack for free. So you're not paying $600 for 6 points like you would be with the core, right? They give you a break. I love that. Very generous company. This is a purpose-driven company, not a profit-driven company. Now, that's pretty different. And the more you learn, the more you'll understand what I'm talking about. The premium, that's a really nice, sizable package with an abundance of products. So whether you're a retail outlet or a healthcare practice, you can retail these out of your office, send people right out the door with them. But what was really critically important, because this is not a magic wand, this is a tool that's allowing your body to do what it was designed to do, regenerate and repair itself, whether that's neurologic, that's cognitive, that is cardiovascular, digestive, bones. It doesn't matter. Your body knows how to fix what's wrong, but you need to keep giving it the tool long enough to make long-lasting change. So that X39, we really recommend you do a monthly subscription. It's $99.95 a month once you've purchased one of these supportive or these wholesale packs, I should say. And then the supportive patches you get at wholesale as well. But that is a game changer. If you can stay on that X39 1 month for every decade you are old, you're going to thank us. And then today is the dawn of a new day in cellular nutrition support. This is called Cellergize. And for years, David Schmidt, our owner and inventor, has been telling people, make sure you get enough NAC because it supports your glutathione, and get your magnesium and get your this, that, and the other. It was confusing. And we're sending people to all these different sites to buy things. And he finally said, you know what? I'm going to craft my dream nutritional supplement formula. This is the morning version. Down the road, we'll be getting a nighttime version. This is optimized, and it is nutritionally infused with organic nutrients, vitamins, and electrolytes. And it's very, very affordable. So if you have purchased a wholesale kit, you're then called a brand partner. That means you get everything at wholesale. If you want one of these, it's $69.95. Now, Eric and I worked out of one of these for over a month. And that was very affordable. But again, just like supportive patches, if you're ordering 3 or more, it's down to $49.95. And you can mix and match these with your patches. And tomorrow night on our deep dive, following the introduction session, like Joy and I are doing right now, Cami is going to go over a deeper look at what is in this and why it is so changing Eric is so excited to get this back because his energy really changed dramatically after we ran out of the one and only jar that we had of that. But this company is very progressive, very cutting edge. They have got the next 20 years of products already in development. They are way out ahead of what's happening in this world, and this is a very toxic world. And water has been highly, highly concerning to a lot of people. If you look at microplastics, they are now in our infant newborns' bodies. If you look at Roundup, toxins, chemicals, everything is seeping into our water supply, and that's very concerning. So David is all about his purpose in life is to keep people healthy and happy and living their best life. But he's been working on a very advanced filtration system. And what it's doing is not just filtering water, it is going one step further and it is infusing light into the water. So he takes the photon with water, he binds it with hydrogen. Game changer. The results coming out of clinical trials are nothing short of shocking. We've heard of bones healing in hours, not months. We have heard of old geriatric people in their 90s, not out of bed in years, drinking a glass of water and able to walk the hall in their home after, a few hours of drinking this. And the list just goes on and on and on. It's a game changer. This will be coming out early in August, so get ready. I can't wait to get mine. And I know Danielle really wants this for her little dog, Jax. Just life-changing stuff with that technology. But we just want to remind you, we're here every Monday and Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And sometimes it's Joy and Cami, or, there's a rotation of us. And then Jeff, our friend, has joined us too, and Jan and Kathy and Joyce. And we have a whole team that is just so passionate about helping people understand the power of this. And we forgot to mention, we have prizes to give away tonight. So if you invited a guest, please put your name in chat. And if you are the guest, please put your name in chat. We want to enter you to win X39 and our friend Marcy and Jan's. They are going to mail those to you, and it is a really beautiful gift. And then tomorrow night, we're doing something special. Everybody that is on that call tomorrow night, because it's a big one, talking about cellar dyes in the water machine. We're going to enter everybody, but bring your friends. And our Zoom is harmonypatchingzoom.com. And then our friend Marcy, she does hers 2 hours earlier than us on Wednesday nights. So if you have somebody on the East Coast time zone, that's a great one. She too gives away some patches. So you might be asking yourself, wow, what do I do next? This is amazing. I want this. I want what they have. We want to get your questions answered. So as soon as we're done here, just 1-2 seconds here, we're going to answer your questions and then get back to the person who invited you. They'll be happy to help you place that wholesale order. And then we always recommend everybody starts with X39 and Eon. And I don't care if you're 2 or 102, that's the place to start. And then we can customize those other supportive patches you might need to help you feel young again. And we always encourage you, share, if you care, you share, invite somebody. We look at this as sharing the gift of health, and it really is priceless. How do you put a price tag on what this is, not getting cavities all the time, bringing back your brain, keeping your little dog alive a few years longer. But due to FDA regulations, like I said, Lifeway cannot advertise. They will send you a thank you check if you do share and somebody orders. But we look at this as far more than a thank you check. This is kind of a social responsibility. And this is a company that is growing by leaps and bounds for the second year in a row, the fastest growing direct marketing company, not only really in this country, in the world, because it's patented. This is the only company in the world that has this product. So what does your dream life look like? Do you just want to be out of pain so you can go walk hand in hand down a beach or hike a mountain? Do you want to just travel somewhere great? Do you want to upgrade your life? Whatever it is, this company's here to help you. But we talk about just living younger and let it X39 or any of the other patches help you do that as we turn back the hands of time, literally and figuratively. But really, it comes down to harnessing your light. Light is how life begins, and it is truly powerful when we can bring it back. So we are going to stop our sharing now. And we're so happy to have you join us tonight. Now we're going to open it up to questions. And again, I want to remind you, put your names in chat if you'd like to be entered for the drawing, whether you're a guest or you invited a guest. And I'm going to stop sharing now. And we hope to see you back here tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Pacific, for our deep dive on cellular eyes. And I'm going to share a new website and our new Telegram channel. Just a couple of the new tools that we've been developing for you to learn more, share more, understand more deeply. And again, thanks for coming. And we'll answer questions now.